What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and those of you that follow me here on the channel saw that this morning, the House of Representatives, they finally passed that stimulus reconciliation bill, and this is your stimulus and infrastructure bill update. Now, all morning, I've been getting people messaging me saying, but what is exactly included in this version of the spending bill? And we also know that it's going to get modified when it goes to the Senate, right? Well, I have an article here, and I'm going to be covering all the details for you of what is actually in this bill right now. So stick with me throughout the entirety, and I'm going to be covering it because people are saying, what about a forced stimulus check? What about unemployment extensions, child tax credits? Did the student loan forgiveness get covered? Well, I'm going to give you all the details of what is exactly in the bill. So we're going to dive into this article, take a look, came out just a little while ago. House passes $1.75 trillion Biden plan that funds universal pre-K, Medicare expansion, and renewable energy credits. We're going to dive into a list breaking down everything for you. So let's go ahead and get started. But first, just wanted to say also thank you so much for all the support on this second channel, Steve Ram Finance, which is going to be launching closer to the end of the year. If you're interested in growing wealth, investing in real estate, stocks, crypto, starting a business, anything with personal finance, consider joining the second channel. I'll put a comment down below with a link. You can click it, go subscribe, and become a part of the Steve Ram Finance fam. And you guys, but let's dive right in and get you caught up on the latest on economic news right now in this video as of today, November 19th, 2021. But first, do me a quick favor, smash that like button, helps out with the YouTube algorithm a ton. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Leave your comments, share this out if you think it'll help other people. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and if you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in and get you caught up as to what is actually in this bill that passed the House of Representatives today for stimulus reconciliation. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and dive into this article and link in the description below. I always cite the sources so that way you can read them for yourself. And this article says, the House of Representatives on Friday passed the largest expansion of the social safety net in decades, a $1.75 trillion bill that funds universal pre-K, Medicare expansion, renewable energy credits, affordable housing, a year of expanded child tax credits, and major Obamacare subsidies. Now, the final vote was 220 to 213, and only one Democrat, Golden of Maine, voted against the bill, and he was one of those moderate centrist Democrats that said he could not vote in favor of this bill because it was not fully paid for. It will be adding to the nation's debt, and there will be inflation, and he said there could possibly be negative impacts to the economy, and he could not support it. Now that it has cleared the House, though, President Joe Biden's Build Back Better Act goes to the Senate, where it will likely be revised in the coming weeks. So just to clarify, what we're going to be covering is not the final version of the bill. It will very, very likely get changed in the Senate and then have to go back to the House for modifications. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said that he aims to have the chamber pass the bill before Christmas. So very likely around Christmas time, around the new year, this is when this will be signed into law and these provisions will be distributed. The House will need to vote on it again if the bill is altered, as we mentioned. Now, if the measure is signed into law, the bill will profoundly change many American lives, especially families with children, the elderly, and low-income Americans. Now, what is in this current version of the bill? So we're going to be covering everything that's included, but first just wanted to mention something that's not included, one of the most popular provisions that people wanted to see and has been the top in combating poverty, and that is a fourth federal level stimulus check. We had seen 3 previously. A fourth one currently is not in this bill. Also, unemployment extensions of those benefits of PUA, PEUC, and the $300 per week boost that expired back in September. An extension is currently not included. Now, just to clarify, this is not going to be the last stimulus bill, though. We heard from President Joe Biden there will be another one in 2022, and we will see what provisions get included, what's the state of the pandemic, what's the state of the economy, and if we need more provisions, what might make it in. And I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date here on the channel on the latest economic news. But right now, here are the provisions that are included and the benefits, the checks, the credits that are going to be going out to Americans. So first off, universal preschool for all 3 and 4-year-olds. In addition to helping millions of children prepare for better for school, the benefits would enable parents of young children to return to the workforce earlier. Also, a child care cost cap of 7% of income for parents earning up to 250% of the state's median income. 4 weeks of federal paid parental and sick or caregiver leave. a year of expanded child tax credits. During the past year, these credits have raised households with more than 3 million children out of poverty and cut the overall child poverty in America by 25%. Extended pandemic-era Affordable Care Act subsidies. So far this year, these subsidies have increased the ACA enrollment by more than 2 million. New hearing and benefits for Medicare beneficiaries, including coverage for a new hearing aid every 5 years. A $35 per month limit on the cost of insulin under Medicare, and a cap on out-of-pocket prescription drug costs at $2,000 per year. $500 billion to combat climate change, largely through the clean energy tax credits. This represents the largest ever federal investment in clean energy. An increase in the state and local tax deductions limit from $10,000 to $80,000. So you guys, those are the provisions that are currently in this stimulus reconciliation bill. And as I mentioned, this is not the final version. It's going to be going on to the Senate, and it's very likely that it'll be passed into law and signed by the president sometime around Christmas, we're hearing, or the next year, which is when these provisions with all these benefits for child tax credits, free childcare, Medicare, all of these things that we saw in that list are going to start getting distributed out. Now, I'll be sure to cover everything for you. And also, we heard that whatever's not included in here, like I mentioned, there will be another stimulus reconciliation bill in 2022. And I'll keep you up to date on everything that's going to be unfolding. But as for right now, the very next steps is this is going to be going on to the Senate. Take a look. Next steps is the Senate. Now that it has cleared the House, the Build Back Better Act goes on to the Senate, where it is likely to be revised in the coming weeks. And as I said, this is not the final version. Now, before, just a quick recap, progressives had wanted to see $6 trillion, $7 trillion, $10 trillion. They wanted to see that fourth federal level stimulus check, monthly reoccurring checks, unemployment benefits, adult tax credits, all of these things that have not made it into this version of the bill. But take a look at this. It could get cut down even more. There's two conservative Democrats that have an outsized influence on what's going to be happening next, and those are the key swing votes of Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona. And Manchin has already said that he opposed including paid leave in the bill. So when Joe Manchin gets his hands on this bill, 2,000 pages of provisions we'll see of paid leave is going to be still in this version of the bill as well. But you guys, that is the latest on the stimulus reconciliation bill that was passed in the House of Representatives today. That's everything that's included, and as more details are released, I'll be sure to share with you. But again, keep in mind the fact that this is going to be modified even further. We still have some ways to go before this is finalized. But you guys, that is the latest. Just wanted to keep you up to speed. Thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second if you appreciate these videos to smash the like button. Helps me out a ton. Just takes a second. Thank you so much. Leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. If you're interested in personal finance and growing wealth and learning more about that, consider joining the second channel, Steve Ram Finance. It's going to be launching closer towards the end of the year. And if you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, hope this reaches you well. Hope you have a blessed weekend. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.